All right, so in today's video, we're talking about the third and final piece of the Minnesota Vikings Purple Trinity. If you guys don't know, I've been calling the Purple Trinity the GM, the head coach, and the quarterback. I've been calling it that for a while, and the GM, Rick Spielman, is gone. The head coach, Mike Zimmer, is gone. And now we have a question, or mainly Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah has a question that's probably been on his mind for multiple weeks and maybe months now. It'll probably be on his mind for the next couple months. So what is he going to do with Kirk Cousins? I think this is one of the actually most fascinating debates you can have in just NFL conversation, especially with Vikings fans. What is he going to do with Kirk? Because I have two sleeper candidates of quarterbacks who I would be jumping off my walls if we would get these two, and that is Kenny Pickett and Desaun Watson. Let's talk about these two right now. So this is obviously hypothetically if the Vikings would make a decision that Kirk Cousins is not our future, and we would not extend him. Now I'm going to start off with Kenny Pickett. The Vikings have the 12th pick in the upcoming NFL draft, and I've seen Kenny Pickett going anywhere between 5 and even late 20s. I don't think I've ever seen him fall out of a first round at a mock draft yet, but he is I think he's the number one quarterback in the draft. You guys can debate me down in the comments down below, because I know a lot of people are Matt Corral or Corral, and they have a lot of hype around him, but I think Kenny Pickett's the number one prospect out of the quarterback position. So if the Vikings would decide to move off Kirk Cousins, since he is making $44 million next year, and let's say they decide to use their first round pick and go get Kenny Pickett. If you guys don't know, Kenny Pickett, he's a lot like Justin Herbert to me. And I know you guys might be saying, well, all right, well, if he's like Justin Herbert to you, why is he not going top 5 in every single draft? I think it has a lot to do with he played at Pittsburgh. Because every time my eye talent watches this guy, and maybe he's a little goofier than Herbert. I feel like Herbert's a little more locked in and kind of not humble, but like Kenny Pickett has more of like a Gronkowski type personality to him, where he's more out there and he's got a little more flair to his game than Herbert. But just like Herbert, Kenny Pickett uses his legs as not a necessity, but just an advantage. And that's the thing I love about him. A lot of these quarterbacks coming out of college, they use their legs because that's the one thing they know how to use. Josh Allen does it better than anybody. Mahomes did it better than anybody when they come out. Herbert's more of, I'm sitting in the pocket, not there. I can use my legs, and you're probably not going to catch me, because Kenny Pickett's a fast dude. Justin Herbert's a fast dude. And from what I've seen with his arm talent, I know it's very tough to judge quarterbacks' reads in college because we know how fast the windows close in the NFL. But when I'm watching his arm talent, and he's played in a couple windy games, which is something I kind of take into consideration, is watching the weather. If it's very windy outside, you got to put the ball on a line. And Kenny Pickett's done that. I've never looked at his throws and I question his arm strength or his arm power, which is something I've wanted in a quarterback forever in Minnesota. I want a big arm dude who can use his legs a little bit. And a lot like Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, these big quarterbacks coming out of college nowadays, they're just better. The college quarterbacks are just better now than they were 5 years ago, because you get more reps as a kid now. The 7-on-7s, there's just so much where I feel like Kenny Pickett could possibly come in, maybe sit a year behind Kirk, but if he needs to play right away, I don't think it's the worst case scenario either. Now talking about Desaun Watson, the guy with about 30 allegations to his name. Again, I understand that plays a huge part in it. I can't talk about it right now. We don't know the facts. But if we were just talking about Desaun Watson, the Kirk Cousins for Desaun Watson trade, the Vikings name, they've been thrown in there as a dark horse for this multiple times. The trade would probably be Cousins and 2 firsts, or Cousins a first and 2 seconds, around that nature. It's a very interesting trade, because this would be guaranteeing the Vikings a top 10 quarterback. This would be guaranteeing the Vikings a franchise quarterback for the next couple years at least. And then if you sign him and you win with him, you have your actual franchise quarterback. Now, Desaun Watson, he is a beast. You cannot, if you're just talking on the field, there's not many quarterbacks and can do what he does. And always the quote that stuck out to me from Dabo Swinney, his coach in college, was just saying how he's like Michael Jordan. He has that winner intangible. He's got that winner mentality all the time, and I love that. But Desaun Watson, bringing him to Minnesota, you would allow him, who is a still very young quarterback, you can say to him, we have Justin Jefferson. You can create this bond with him that we've seen with Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, and Mahomes. You can build that sort of bond, just like Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. Deshaun Watson, he also went to Clemson. Jefferson went to LSU. We have a lot of big-name college guys on our roster. I just think he's a good fit. I think he fits well with the scheme, with our personnel. And I think if Kevin O'Connell's system, him coming in, I could see that. I mean, they could run the same system they ran with the Rams. I don't think they can run the same system that they ran with the Rams this past year with Kirk Cousins. With Deshaun Watson, a little bigger arm, a little more mobility, I think you can. Let me know what you guys think down below. Obviously, I think this is an incredible debate. I think you can really take it both ways. But I'm saying hypothetically, if the Vikings were to move off Kirk Cousins, Kenny Pickett and Deshaun Watson have to be front on the bulletin board. These are the two guys we're going to target as our next quarterback. You could always keep Kirk. You know, he's not as bad as people think. But anyways, let me know what you guys think down below about Kenny Pickett or Deshaun Watson. See you guys next time. Skol Vikes.